And the most important thing when it comes to this whole thing, all of these other perspectives are great, but then to really talk about the key aspect of a BA, and that's where it's people management. It's all about, it's beyond the project manager role, because we as BAs need to work with the team. We are part of the team. We are sitting with the developers, with the architects, with the SMEs, with the testers, with the customers, with the users. We are the people. The project managers often come in and then say, okay, they give reports, they say, do this, do that. Then as analysts, it's our responsibility to actually take a more proactive role, to be able to communicate and interact with these people almost on a daily basis, and then try and have a good team working, a good relationship across these different types of stakeholders. And again, I mean, don't forget that the role key stakeholders into the product or application that you're working on. Some of them could be internal, some of them could be external, whether it is, and the extent of what they're going to get out of the product might differ, but then what the interactions or the kind of reports they would expect from you, that might not change. So we as BAs need to understand the potential of these different stakeholders. What is it that they're expecting from you? For example, it could be a senior manager who is not involved in this day-to-day operations, but all he or she needs is basically a report at the end of a month as to how things are happening. And it is important because that that particular manager need not be informed almost on a daily basis, but they need to know everything clear in there. They don't need to know the details, but they need to know specifically what is it that is happening in terms of product or the project development. And that's where, again, we as BAs should be able to understand their expectations. Some people like details, some people like to see pictures, some people like to see charts and graphs, some people like to see the detailed report in huge, in detail. So we as analysts need to understand what, at a personal level, what kind of a person, what style they have in terms of these reports or understanding, and then be able to give them, so that don't forget that they might not play a key role in the operational aspect of the project, but they're really important because we need to keep them happy. They're the people who are giving us the money and keeping the whole thing running. So it's important that we as analysts need to understand these different stakeholders, different people in and out of the organization, how we need to interact with them, in what way, how we can communicate with them, what are the kind of channels we have. All of these come into picture. And I think that's where there's a bit of a missing gap in terms of all of these different areas. Whether you are trying to develop product, marketing, technology, you've got respective SMEs out there. For technology, you've got architects. For marketing, you've got marketing professionals and branding professionals. For products, you've got product manager, product owner. For processes, you've got these different process engineers. And so you've got, each of these has got their own respective authority or the subject matter expert. But what they lack is the ability to actually kind of tie all of these things together and then bring in some kind of a semblance. And that's where we as BAs would fit in. So we need to put the focus back on the people. We need to be able to have a holistic perspective across these different silos in the organization. And that's the biggest skill, biggest knowledge that we can potentially